This is Crawford County Connect, the podcast that brings you closer to the heart of Crawford County, brought to you by the Chamber and Development Council of Crawford County. Our mission is to foster connections, celebrate local stories, and explore the diverse tapestry of our region. From the rolling hills to the bustling streets, Crawford County is alive with history, culture, and the spirit of community. Whether you're a longtime resident, a newcomer, or simply curious about life in our corner of the Midwest, join us as we dive deep into the fabric of our county, uncovering the tales of its people, business, and organizations that make it thrive. Through engaging interviews, insightful discussions, and captivating narratives, Crawford County Connect will be your guide to understanding the past, navigating the present, and envisioning the future of our vibrant community. So sit back, tune in, and let's embark on this journey together as we connect, inspire, and empower one another through the stories of Crawford County, Iowa.
Welcome back to our Crawford County Connect, folks. Thanks for joining us today. Today we have Jordan Patnaude with JP Turf and Pest. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for being here, being one of our first few guests here on the podcast. JP Turf and Pest. Tell us about your business a little bit.
Yeah. So I specialize in pest control, specialize in residential and commercial. Do a lot of vegetation spray as well for utility companies and vegetation growth. Also do lawn treatments, fertilizer, weed control, mosquito treatments, all that good stuff, yeah.
Great. And a fairly new company to the area. Yeah. What are you, just over a year old now?
To the date, 1
really?
year, yeah.
Nice,
yeah.
Very nice. Well, happy anniversary.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah. So tell us what got you into your business and what got you started in it. You've been doing that before or anything like that?
I've always had the green thumb, always. I remember when I was younger, I'd always be like at Menards buying fertilizer for the yard and stuff like that and trying to water it. I was probably 8, 9 years old when I was doing that. Worked at the local golf course, Premier Country Club over in South Dakota, where I grew up. I was there, worked there all throughout high school. So I really fell in love with kind of the green industry, the turf industry. Went to school for it. Went to Southeast Tech my first year. That's in Sioux Falls. And then for that, you had to do an internship. So I went to go do a groundskeeping internship for the AAA team for the Dodgers.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Right there in Sioux Falls? Then?
No, that was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So I traveled down there pretty all by myself, and they put me up in a house with like 4 other interns. We were all in the same boat, right? We were all students trying to become a groundskeeper.
All doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 of them I became really good friends with, and then I just kind of followed them. They were students up in Walla Walla, Washington.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah, right. Seriously. The city's so nice, they named it twice. But no, I really fell in love with it then. And then for that one, I did another internship for the Texas Rangers.
Really?
Yeah, that was 2010, the year they went to the World Series, so I got to experience all that.
Tell me about that. How does a college kid learn about those internships?
Yeah.
How do you get hired by that?
Yeah, good question. There's a website, STMA, Sports Turf Managers Association of America, right? You pay your $45 yearly dues, and then, a lot of sports facilities like that, they want to hire interns, because they're seasonal workers.
Yeah, it fits their season perfectly.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And they're kids that want to do that like for a living, so they're not just your basic, Joe that you got to train him.
Just wants a paycheck.
Yeah. We were true students. So to answer your question, that's how you find them.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with golf courses. You can go on a certain website and there's tons of jobs for
Really?
golf courses. Yeah, tons of them.
Interesting.
So got my degree in turf management. After college, I got I got an offer to go to Sacramento, California, for the AAA team for the Oakland A's. I was there for almost a year. Left that job, went to Denver, and I was the assistant superintendent at Lakewood Country Club for, I think, 2 years. Then I got into sales and stuff, and kind of got out of the turf. And then one of my really good friends, Aaron Gill, owns Gill Hardscapes here in town.
Okay.
And just kind of talked me into moving out here. Started up his little lawn care company that he kind of built. And then it just kind of hit a lull and wanted to do it myself. I knew when I was in Denver, I was like this close to starting up my own company. But I think just the fear factor of a huge metropolitan city.
Sure.
I mean, it's different, completely different starting a company from Denison, Iowa to Denver, Colorado. Night and day different. Yeah. So I just never did it. Like I said, the fear I just never did it.
So what got you over the hump of that fear here in Denison? Just that it was a smaller community?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I grew up in a town of 1,000 people, maybe 2,000 people in Oak Point, South Dakota. So I'm a hometown kid. I love small town. I'm very personable. And I really my wife was the one who really pushed me to do this.
People don't realize how important that is to have that supporting spouse. You have to have that. You do.
You have to.
Otherwise, it's just for small, especially in your situation, one-man operation. Yeah. You have to have it. There's just no two things.
Well, you got that, and then you got the stress of owning your own business. You've got, you got your kids, and you got to. You can't be working 90 hours a week as much as you want, but you got to.
And that's an easy trap to get into.
Totally. Totally. And we were in a good spot too. I mean, I didn't have any debt other than my house. Blair makes my wife. She's got a pretty good stable job. So, nice. I knew it would take me some time to kind of build my route, you could say. But I just did it. I did it. Didn't have a truck payment, which that's big. My truck was paid for. I'll be honest with you, I took out a credit card and maxed it out. Yep. But got it paid off within 4 or 5 months, and
very nice.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. So business has been good for the first year.
Yeah. I had some goals set up. Definitely hit those goals. Good. I can say that they weren't awesome. They weren't crazy high goals, but certainly goals to make you happy.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Yeah.
Tell me what you more of a business to consumer type of business, like mom and pop on the street household, or more commercial, more business to business?
Well, when I first started this company, I was really targeting commercial businesses, like your gas stations, your restaurants, your bigger facilities around town, around Crawford County, because I really wanted to build quote unquote a route where I could go out there every month. I was getting paid every month, even during the winter time. That was like my goal. How can I make money next winter, which is now? Yep. And and then my residentials kind of just came on like they normally would. Word of mouth was huge for me. I didn't really do much advertisements, and it's been going really good.
Good.
I think the big thing that really sets me apart, though, truly, there's some competition that I deal with, kind of more so on the bigger scale.
Sure.
My competition's probably a top 15 pest control company in the country. They're huge. But then again, here I am, small town, hometown kid, very personable. I think people really like to have me inside their home. I think they can trust me. I got a lot of customers that just give me like the key, like the passcode to their garage door, and I go in when they're at work.
Yeah.
So that's been huge for me. Yep. Huge. Just being personable, following up with customers, making sure, hey, are all the bugs dead? Like, are you guys happy? I want to make sure you're happy. I can promise you my other companies aren't doing that.
Yeah.
So I've really built my business on that, being the hometown kid.
Yeah. You mentioned that MRR, we like to call it that monthly recurring revenue. How so important, especially first year out. You're getting that set up and having that. That's kudos to you for doing that right away.
Thank you.
The what's the future look like for you? Are you looking at adding on staff or keeping it just you, or what are you thinking?
I've got a certain number per month where if I'm hitting that average dollar per month, you got to find someone to help you. You're not growing your business because you're working. You're not probably don't have a good family life because you're working so much.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, I think within 3 years, that's a goal of mine to have another truck out on the road.
Nice.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that one truck operation is something that many people look towards. I have friends that have gone and put out 10 trucks and said, "Gosh, I wish I was back to just one truck." There's a lot of headaches that come with that. Yeah.
How much does a truck cost?
Right.
You got to buy double inventory, double sprayers, and got to make sure that he's busy.
Yeah. And at that point, do you need a receptionist to take the calls coming in?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of extra cost even in that first step or that next.
And also too, I was thinking, maybe I don't even hire a technician.Maybe I hire like my office lady or an office person to take my phone calls and make sure that I'm optimizing my route as best as possible. And sales. Having a salesperson out there is
awesome.
Huge.
Yep. What haven't I asked you so far, Jordan, that we need to talk about? What any particular services that you focus in on, or that you have and would love to expand?
Mosquito treatments, citywide community insect control is kind of what I call it.
So you'd be reaching out to cities, smaller cities, probably the mayor, the council, the bigger cities, the city manager type person. Yeah.
So I think, for example, Denison had the mosquito truck, drive around the community. I know for a fact Carroll does it still to this day. But Denison doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why.
Sure.
Gets a bad rap, of course.
Sure.
Back in the day, they'd use DDT.
Yeah.
And then the kids would all follow the truck. And,
just like the ice cream truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
But that right there, again, you have to do that at a certain time of day, at like 8 to 10 o'clock. So you got a very small window. Again,
in the evening or morning?
Evening.
Yeah.
That's when mosquitoes are most active. So I would love to get into that. That's a niche market, certainly.
Tell me a little bit about how big of an area do you cover right now?
Yeah. So I got clients up in Ida Grove. I got clients in Mapleton. Got a few clients down in Dunlap, and a few clients over in Carroll.
Okay.
Definitely trying to hit that Carroll market pretty hard. Yeah.
And probably here in Denison too, you have some?
I got quite a few. That's like 80% of my business.
Okay,
is
very nice.
Definitely here in Denison. And when I say that too, I'm saying that's my commercial route. Like that's where I drive to every month and get like the local gas station or the local bar, a few apartment complexes. And like I said, the residentials, they just come. I mean, as of right now, people are getting those Asian beetles again inside their home.
Yeah, I've had them in my house start already.
I have them in my house, and I'm in pest control. It's actually quite embarrassing. But
is that one that's pretty tough to get rid of?
It's very hard because, number one, you got to get them at a right time. Gotcha. And I remember the day they came out. They come out overnight. And that was September 17th is when I had like 40 phone calls.
Really?
Oh, God. It was September 17th. I'll never forget that day.
So what's the answer besides calling you? What is there anything they can do?
Yeah, sealing up your home, sealing up the gaps around your windows, your doors, making sure that you're weatherproofing your home. That's where they're getting in at. Plain and simple. Yeah.
Speaking on that type of thing, what are some of the things you see that the general customer would be able to fix themselves without calling you, and do kind of a DIY type step that they can go through, and if it doesn't work, then they call you.
So again, caulking your windows, making sure that your weather stripping is up to par. Even one of those heat guns where you can see like the infrared, like where the cold air is coming in at. That's where the bugs are coming in at. So if you've got one of those little infrared, which I've got one, and I go around people's houses and I can see exactly where they're coming in at, that right there. If you were to DIY it, that right there.
Is that something you charge for to do that? Or is that part of your service?
Oh, that's just kind of part of the service.
When you do it.
Yeah, when I'm there.
So I know there's a whole industry of that.
I just do it when I'm there. I've got I've got the little camera in my pouch all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Oh gosh. I mean, no, I don't know. Okay. We've kind of touched it all. I think the thing that just sets me apart is I care. I care. I mean, the technicians that come out to your house for the bigger companies, they probably don't care a whole lot. They want to finish their route and go home for the day.
Yep.
I've got my life on this, on my company, and I got my livelihood on it. So I care a lot. For example, I got some lady up in Breda called me yesterday, and she just had Asian beetles all over her ceiling and her showers everywhere. I've called her twice now just to make sure that she's happy, and she's more than happy.
Good.
So, and then the thing with pest control too is you can't just go out one time, because then you're going to get bugs again in 3-4 months. So it's a good business to get into for the revolving door business.
So what is the minimum that if somebody had a problem, what was the minimum that you'd have to do? Is it 2, 3, 4, 6 months? I don't know what.
The minimum for me to come out at least twice a year, spring and the fall, minimum. Now, granted, you're going to get bugs in between, but if you're just the person, hey, just keep down the bugs, go downstairs in the basement and spray for spiders, and of course, hitting windows on the outside of the house. That's where the bugs come in at.
Sure.
The foundation, that's where bugs come in at. That sill plate, right, 3 feet up, 2 feet up, whatever, that's where they're coming in at. So I'm consistently doing something on the outside and on the inside. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep.
So, Jordan, thanks so much for being here today. And also thanks for being a chamber member. You jumped on board right away. We sure appreciate that. Becoming a member and getting the exposure from what the chamber does. And we hope this gets you even more exposure here, what we're doing today. And we'll welcome back anytime that you want to be on the show. And if you want to have your own podcast, this facility is open to do that. So if anybody's watching out there has questions on that, give us a call here at the chamber. That's one thing I didn't ask about, Jordan. How do people get a hold of you?
JPTurfandPest.com. I got my Facebook page, same thing, JP Turf and Pest. Cell phone number 712-267-6581. I drive around Denison all day, every day. So, I take a lot of coffee breaks, and I probably take a nap in my truck. So come knock on my door. Okay. I'll be in there.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again, Jordan. Appreciate you being here, folks. Be sure to reach out to JP Turf and Pest. Great company, doing great things here right in Crawford County.
As we wrap up another episode of Crawford County Connect, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our listeners for joining us on this exploration of our vibrant community. We hope that you've enjoyed the stories, insights, and connections shared today. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Stay connected with us on social media and visit our website at www.cdcia.org. From there, you can stay updated on upcoming episodes, events, and opportunities to engage further with Crawford County. We also want to extend a special thank you to the Chamber and Development Council of Crawford County for their support in making this podcast possible.